Okay, so we've created John Doe, Jane Doe. We've migrated John Doe, Jane Doe. We've joined the domain, and we've backed everything up. So today we're going to go over locking things down. So this one has a little bit more than the rest of your exercises, at least for what you have to turn in, maybe. So this one's screenshot what I tell you to. I'm going to delete that video thing really quick here. You guys can't see this yet, but you will when we're done. So now let's lock it down and protect PPI for accidental loss or theft. So what's PPI, guys? Give you like 10 seconds. PPI. What's PPI? There goes everybody's participation grade right there. All right. Personal private information. PPI, like your social security, your medical, personal information. So all tasks are done on domain Hyper-V. So your domain computer, the only time we used the workstation one was for day one. Screenshot all complete tasks and tutorial out your journey. This is where this one's different. This isn't just screenshots. And this is so you remember to do this for your final because you're going to forget. So first one, in command prompt, CMD, create a directory named Encrypted and Unencrypted. Then we're going to create a text document named PPI.TXT in the unencrypted folder. We're going to encrypt the encrypted folder with default settings, and then we're going to move PPI document to the encrypted folder. This way you can see what it does. We're going to back up the security key from the PPI document properties and save the backup to the backup drive that we made on day 3 in a folder named BK-Encrypted. That means backup encrypted stuff. Turn on BitLocker and backup BitLocker on drive D, on the D drive in folder BK-Bitlocker. So that means if those aren't there, you need to make those folders, right? And again, screenshot all the complete tasks and tutorial out your journey. It means you're writing a tutorial on how to do this and you're taking a screenshot on every task that you've completed. So when you've created encrypted and unencrypted, you have a screenshot. When you create text document named PPI.TXT in the unencrypted folder, you're taking a screenshot. Encrypt the encrypted folder with default settings. Screenshot, show that you did those default settings. Move the PPI document to encrypted folder. Screenshot, you've moved it to the folder. Backup security key from the PPI document properties and save the backup to the backup drive you made on day 3 in a folder named BK-Encrypted. So you're going to create that folder and you're going to put the PPI document, the backup of the security key into that. We will do that. And then you're going to turn on BitLocker and show that you turned on BitLocker. You are going to run into a problem right here, and that's the whole point, is you're going to have to troubleshoot how to turn on BitLocker. So that's where part of your journey is tutorial what went wrong and where you found your answers at. Backup BitLocker on drive D, on the D drive, in the folder BK-Bitlocker. So again, you're going to have to make that folder. And there's examples right here. So you'll be able to click on that. I will unlock this once we're done doing the video. All right, so let's get started. So we'll focus on the first one, which we should know how to do. Command prompt, we're going to create 2 directories, encrypted and unencrypted, right? We got those 2 guys coming. Sean's getting ready to cheat. So let me minimize that, and we're ready to cook here. Again, let me just make this full screen. We got John showing up, but we don't want to log in as John. We log in with our accounts because we're on the domain now. That's a pretty picture, though, isn't it? those icy dagger-like mountains back there, and then the fall scene in front of it. And this 6 years and 1 day to verify my account. All right. So I still have the 2 hard drives that I did yesterday. All right. So our first task is to encrypted unencrypted folder. So in command prompt, it says command prompt. So easy way to do this is we can hit the Windows button and R, right? When we're in here, Windows and R. So my old one I had PowerShell in there, but this specifically says command prompt. So I'm gonna do CMD as soon as this lets me type. There we go. CMD will open up my command prompt. Now, maybe I want to open this up as admin. We'll find out. Now, did it tell me where I should make these? That's the question. Does it tell me where I should make these, or is that free? It just says create a directory. So right now I'm in my users folder, my personal one, so I should be okay right here. And then again, if you guys want to cheat and make sure you're typing everything, I'm just gonna go notepad really quick. And I could have just typed it right here too, inside of there, and it would have opened it. So I just pre-cooked everything, so I can come up here and go paste really quick. So I have the encrypted and unencrypted. So in order to do, remember we did make directory, make dir last time. Let's see if mkdir works in command prompt. It might only work in PowerShell. So we can do mk. So we did mkdir, right? We did that before. We can also do at least in PowerShell, you can do md for make directory. Let's see if that works. So on this, remember, if we don't have stuff in quotes, then it thinks these are 2 different things, which it is. So if I did it like this, it's going to make one directory called encrypted unencrypted. That's not what we want to do. We want 2 different ones. So when those are separate and there's that space right here, this means, okay, I'm going to make one, and then I'm going to make another one. This is an easy way to make multiple directories at the same time. So I'm going to grab that whole thing and Control-C that, because I'm just going to cheat a little bit. And I'm going to Control-V right there. Let's see, does MD work in CMD? It looks like it did. Now, if I do dir, I can see those 2 directories. I have unencrypted and I have encrypted right here. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. So right here it actually shows my command, make directory, encrypted, unencrypted. I could have also done mkdir, and that would have worked. So instead of doing MD, remember earlier in one of our previous exercises, we did mkdir, and that does the same thing. So it's not going to let me do it. It's going to say it already exists. So if I do that, it'll say it already exists. I can't do it, but that's what we would type. So you don't have to type that one. You can use either way. You can do MD, make directory, and then the directory's names that you want to do to make the directory, like right here, make directory, or mkdir, make directory, and just the directories you want to make, or the folders, encrypted, unencrypted. If you quote them, it'll be a single folder. So to show you that, I will do that command, and I will just quote it. Now it has no issue, and if I do dir, now you got one whole folder that says encrypted, unencrypted. So that's not the one we're going to use, right? So if I want to get rid of that, damn you, mouse, get back here. All right, I'm going to stop playing with this. So we'll just go delete that the other direction because I'm having issues with this mouse. I gotta use the keyboard. All right. So that is your screenshot though, right there. So let's go back over here. So we need to create a PPI text document in our unencrypted folder. Correct, guys? Come on, mouse. All right, it's plugged in. I have one of those Logitech mouses that's like the expensive one, and it's got the built-in battery. It's like dying on me. It's got it plugged in right now. All right. So I'll minimize that, and I'll close this for now. So where did we make those? We made those in my users folder, right? So we'll leave this open in case we need it later. So if I go in here, I'm probably not going to see it. I need to go the long way because it doesn't have a library. So we're going to go to C, and it's actually going to go to users. Come on, mouse. Survive a little bit longer. And I put it in Sean Spangler, or S. Spangler right here. Right here, now I can see my encrypted, my unencrypted, and then the one I really don't want. So we can get rid of that one because that's just going to confuse people. There we go. So in unencrypted, we're going to create a text document called PPI. Now, we already learned the easy way to do this, right? We can right click, we can go new, and we can just say text document, and let's call it PPI. Simple. And in here, I probably misspelled something in there, but it's okay. This is our personal private information right here. So you'll see right here, I'm going to zoom in. Now I'm going to hit Control and scroll the mouse, and it makes the icon bigger. So right now, this is what the icon looks like. Right here is also a screenshot, right? It's showing that I created the PPI in the unencrypted folder. So that's just another simple, I mean, this stuff goes a lot faster now, but the part that's going to get you is the BitLocker one. All right, so we're going to come double check here. Yep, create a text document, PPI in the unencrypted. All right, that's our screenshot. Encrypt the encrypted folder with default settings. Okay. We're going to go up one directory, and we're going to go to encrypted. So how do I encrypt this, guys? I'm going to right click and go to properties really quick. Which tab do you think it would be under? We have general, sharing, security, previous versions, and customize. Security, right? You'd think it would be in security, but it's not. It's actually under general. See this little advanced one right here? We click on advanced. Look at right here. Compress or encrypt attributes. What a dumb place to have this, right? Thank you, Microsoft. Anyone in their right mind would think, hey, encryption, security, encryption, security. But no. So we're going to go to encrypt contents encrypt contents to secure data. Again, secure, security, secure, whatever, Microsoft. We click on that and hit OK. Now you notice we can't click on this yet. We click OK and then come back into there. Why did you not? Did I click on the wrong thing? All right, let's try that again. Hey, computer, give me what I'm looking for here. Give it a second. Oh, apply. There we go. You wouldn't think you'd have to hit apply after do that, would you? You'd think you'd hit that, hit OK, and that would apply it. Nope, you have to hit apply right here. Now we have the next part I need. So let's just double check and see if I'm missing anything. So Encrypted the encrypted folder with default settings. So I just encrypted it. The next one says move the PPI document over to it. So I'm going to close that for a second, because we're going to go back in there and show you where the other part is. Let me refresh this. So at this point, that should be encrypted. It says it is. So we're going to move from our unencrypted, this PPI, we're just going to right click and we're going to cut it. We can also use the move command in PowerShell or in command prompt if we want to, but we're going to keep this simple for today. Yvonne will have you do those. So I'm just going to cut it, because that means it's going to cut it from here and move it somewhere else, just like if you're cutting from a piece of paper and gluing it. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to go to encrypted. Now when I paste this in here, it should have a new icon on it, right? So see that? It's got a lock on it. It's now encrypted. So this has an encryption key that's just to this computer, and you can actually share that key. You back it up, you can hand it to people so they can read this too. Now, if I move this to like, well, when you move this to a FAT32 formatted drive, it's supposed to lose the encryption. But last time I showed somebody that in this, it didn't lose the encryption. So just for test purposes, it should lose its security settings and its encryption if it gets moved to a FAT32 drive, okay? But last time I tried to show that, it didn't work. It actually kept it. So Microsoft, I love you. So now that this is encrypted, I want us to, we just moved over here. So this is another screenshot, right? It's showing that this PPI is in the encrypted folder and it changed. It now has an encrypted icon on it, right? So for our simple daily tasks here, move PPI document to encrypted folder, right there, screenshot. Now, backup security key from the PPI documents properties and save the backup. So the backup drive you made in drive on day 3, I can't read, in a folder named BK-Encrypted. All right, so it says from the PPI document properties, right? So remember that. So this is the document. This is the PPI document. This is the PPI document properties. Coming over here to advanced, it says encrypt content, and then I'm going to go details. So you see up here at the top, user access. It says I have access to it. I could add other people to access to it. And you see this, like, what the hell? What the? It's grayed out. Well, if you click on it, it's not grayed out anymore, correct? And this is actually the certificate right there. Have fun guessing that, right, guys? You can do it. I mean, computers can do it easy, but so I'm going to come over here to backup keys. Let me just make this so we can see everything, because I might need to drag it somewhere else so it's not blocking stuff. So backup key. So, and it says to use default settings, right? So just double check. I'll pull it up in front of you. Back up the security key from PPI properties and save the backup to the drive in the following name. It doesn't say anything, so we're just going to use backup. I know one of these said use default settings. Oh, right here. That one said use default settings. So this one, I'm just going to leave everything. So I'm going to hit next. I'm going to leave that as it is. We have lots of options for different types of exports. Exports all extended properties. Include all certificates in the certificate path if possible. So we have multiple ones that'll put them all in there. We're just going to leave this as is. When you do Security Plus, you'll go over all these different forms of encryption. So I'm going to go next. And this says group, but I'm not going to do a group. I'm just going to do a password on here. So I'm pretty sure you guys can guess the password we're going to use. just for purposes. Server 123 at exclamation point. Correct, guys? And again, seems like a lot of you still just did whatever password you wanted to do when you did the exercises. So that's the password we use for everything if we have the opportunity to use it. Because this is why we did backups before we do this. If you forget these passwords and you have your BitLocker set, guess what? You're not getting back into your system. So I'm going to hit next here. And now where do I want to specify the name of the file you want to export? So this is not just the name. It's like, where do we want to export it also? So I'm in documents right now. Now, this did have a special requirement. Let's not forget about that. So it says on the backup drive we made on day 3, which is D drive, right? And to name it BK-Encrypted. So let's make sure we do that properly. So we're going to come over here, this PC. We can just scroll down and we got our D drive right there. Then I'm just going to go new. And then I'm going to cheat because I'm just using the mouse right now. I'm going to paste that right there. I don't know why it doesn't give me all the capitals, but BK-Encrypted or backup encrypted. Double click on that. And then did I give it a special name that I'm supposed to name it? Oh, geez. Clicking on the wrong thing here. So I don't have a special name, so I'm just going to say, I'm just going to put my name on it. Okay, guys? I'm just going to put S Spangler on there. And then I'm going to hit save. And that shows right there where I'm saving it. Just my little, is this what you want to do? Yes. And then finish. It says export was successful. So we have backed it up. I can hit OK now over here. I can hit OK here. I don't exactly need those to show that I did that, do I? So if I go over here to my D drive and just open up BK-Encrypted, that's proof that I just did what I said I did, right? Because if I didn't do that, this wouldn't be here. So that is a screenshot of proof that I just did that task. Not very hard, right? Now you can send this to other people, then they'd be able to open up that also. So you can send them. We can do two-part handshake, where each person has to have one part of it to open the encryption. So there's other ways we can also do it in command prompt, a little bit more complicated ways. But right now we're just going to keep it simple, showing you the concept and stuff that you've read about, but you might not have done. So that's how we encrypt a document in Windows 10. So let's see, what's up next? So we've done this. We're done with step 5. We should have 5 screenshots at this point. Turn on BitLocker. That's easy, right? Piece of cake. Let's turn on BitLocker. And if you don't know how to get there, I always say, just click over here and type it. Just type it right. Manage BitLocker. All right, so we have a Manage BitLocker option here. So right here, turn on BitLocker. You know where else you can turn that on? I can go to File, and I can just right-click on the drive that I'm supposed to do it to. Right here, I can right-click on it, and look, turn on BitLocker is right there too. It's right there. So let's make sure we're not missing anything. It just says turn on BitLocker. Back up BitLocker on D drive in folder BK-Bitlocker. Okay. So I'm going to click on turn on BitLocker. And right here, you're going to run into a problem. I'm not going to. Because this is what I want you to think, and I want you to search on Google how to overcome the problem you run into here. And that's where your tutorial is going to come in and help you when you do this again on your exam. All right, so how do you want to back up your key? I want to save it to a file. There we go. Here's my recovery key. And remember, I'm supposed to save it on BK-Bitlocker, right? So I'm going to go, I don't know why. Let's try that again. Oh, I'm already in there. I'm special. So, and then let's just double check. BK-Bitlocker. Of course, it's not going to do the capitals like I want, but see right here, I have new folder. I can just click on that. And then since I've got this just sitting up here, I'm going to paste it. And it actually did it almost all the way. Was that B capitalized? We'll find out. It will be now. So backup BitLocker. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to say, now remember, this backup in the field would probably be an external drive or a network share, or maybe even in the cloud. So, and then maybe that'll be encrypted too. So there's all different ways we would do this. Technically, how we have this now is we would be able to get to this drive and look at it. We'd have to go use the pre-install environment, the Pixie boot. Well, not the Pixie boot, just the pre-install Windows PE. And then we can use command prompt, go in there, look at it, and grab that recovery key or print it out and then type it in. So, because the only one that we're actually going to apply BitLocker is to the C drive. So it says it has been saved. Now I can hit next. Encrypt using disk space only. Fastest and best for new PCs and drives. Encrypt entire drives, slowest but best for PCs and drives already in use. I'm just going to do the first one because it says fastest. New encryption mode, best for fixed drives on this device. All right, cool. I'm just going to run defaults. And it's probably best to run BitLocker system check and then continue. And it does say restart required. Encryption will begin after computer restart. So it's pretty much telling me, restart your damn computer. All right, so I'm going to restart it because this is actually going to be the real proof that this is on and working. System functionality, right? So I'm going to restart this computer. Now what this does is if someone stole your computer, they're not going to be able to take this hard drive, or did they just stole your hard drive? They're not going to be able to put this hard drive in another computer. Nope, just the last one says tutorial it out. Now, when you do it for the exam, yes. Oh, yeah, I just saw it then. You said for the exam. So, yes, for the exam, they all have tutorial it out. And the reason why I'm having you do it on this one, because you will run into a problem on BitLocker. There's two ways to make it work. The way I want you to do it is with the GPO method. So, not to give away too much of the answer, so I will leave it at that, so you have to troubleshoot it a little bit. I'm trying to make it kind of like if you're in the field, you don't know how to do something, you have to look it up, right? So you're not going to have me to give you the answers if you're in the field. It's not a hard one to find. You pretty much just Google the error message that pops up and you will find the answer to your problems. And heck, it's already going to be in a tutorial, so you can probably just cut and paste that. All right, so this keeps on trying to log in. Remember, John Doe and Jane Doe are local accounts. They are not domain accounts. So I want you guys to always use your account when you're logging into here. So see how this says sandbox? So that means I'm logging into that domain. If you need to log into a local account, you can just do the period / and that flips to your local computer name. So, or you can type your local computer name, which I don't think you want to type all of that. I think it's just easier to type the period / than the AMSLS-domain, right? So this does have it on, and it did restart. And if I tried to open this in another virtual machine now, that hard drive, it's not going to work. It's going to ask me for that security key. That's the whole point. If someone like takes your computer and they steal your hard drive or whatnot and they put it into another computer, I mean, if people who know what they're doing will be able to get past that. But your average thief, your average Joe stealing it's not going to be able to get past it. Now, anyone fluent in Kali Linux knows that they can use a video card to hack that, just like a video card can hack a Bitcoin. That's all Bitcoin, all cryptocurrency is somebody hacking a hash file, opening it up, verifying the results, and then randomly rehashing it, sending it back out there and having someone else verify that they got the same answer you got. So when people says you can't hack a hash, where that's what people are doing all day for Bitcoin. They're hacking a hash file. So I'm going to empty my recycle bin, and I'm just going to make sure this is turned on now. Empty recycle bin. So if I look at, just come to File Explorer, my C drive should say it's encrypted. Close that. This computer. So see right here? Since I'm logged into it, it says it's unencrypted right now because I'm logged into it. So if I had another drive that was encrypted and I haven't, logged into it and opened the BitLocker, it would be over here and it would have the lock on it. And I'd have to actually type something to get into it. So one thing to know, if your drive has the, you know how we made our RAID? We go to disk management. Waiting for it. Hopefully I clicked on it. Did I click on it? There it goes. It put a rain on it. See that? It put a rain on it right there, but not over here. There we go. All right. So our drive right here is a dynamic drive. You cannot BitLocker a dynamic drive. You cannot undo making a drive a dynamic drive. So do not accidentally right-click on your C and change this to a dynamic drive, okay? That would be bad. So some students have done that in the past. They've come into here and they've changed this to a dynamic drive, and then they couldn't do the BitLocker. So don't do that. Good to go? All right. So I'm going to end this really quick. Does anyone have any questions really quick before I stop this video? AM or PM, you guys, you can both ask questions. All right. Short and sweet, right? It's only been 38 minutes, a little bit less because we waited to start. All right. Let me just minimize all my goodies up here. And I will stop the video and upload it. And then I'll unlock that so you guys can actually see the instructions.